shows that Johnny Morris will take off the air. He will not let it play. He says, you can't be giving up all that information. But anyway, I feel, tell the truth, shame the devil, and get your life together. Hallelujah. Hi, Elaine.
How are you?
I'm great.
Excellent.
How are you?
At my best.
I
love it. I know
that's
at my best.
See, he's got the greatest affirmations. Maybe we can get some of his affirmations too.
He's a powerful teacher, period.
Thank
he
you.
Don't even look like he teach like he teach.
He looks like a little boy, huh?
He looks like, I don't know. He said Malcolm X is your mentor, right?
Well, yes, he does favor Malcolm.
Similar to that. But let's hear from you.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me back on the show. And it's really a pleasure and an honor to be here on Women's Wellness Wednesdays.
Well,
and so we want to talk about some simple things that women can do to enhance their lives. You know, one of the first things that I would like to cover is that oftentimes people beat themselves up. And whether it is concerning losing weight, whether it is emotional issues, whether there are issues in regards to taking on more responsibility than a woman has to. I believe that health comprises of 3 levels. And that is oxygen, that is water, and that is herbs. The root issue of all women illness goes back to the way that they were raised.
oh my.
You can't do better until you know better. Knowledge is a prerequisite of change.
That's right.
The way that a lot of women were raised is that they were raised to believe that they put their family first, and that's true to a certain extent. But at a certain point, when we impart knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we have to give a space for an individual to download that information and transform their lives.
Come on.
No matter how much we love our children and no matter how much we love our mate, as women, our community is sick because women seek to nurture and try to rebake a cake. You have to step back and allow your children to learn from the lessons of life, and that corresponds with holding on to physical dis-eases in the body. So you know a proliferation of breast cancer. I truly believe that breast cancer is a metaphysical disease that's developing in the black community because we have allowed the breast to be switched from being a nurture ground from children to be a sexual enticement.
Ooh.
Come on. Tell the truth.
Deep. What?
Tell the truth.
Yes.
He said, yes, I'll take a sip on that.
Sip on that.
And I will tell the truth.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman's figure. There's nothing wrong with beauty. Nothing wrong with expressing your femininity. But at the same time, we have to get back to what is called Eden, get back to nature. And so when a woman begins to understand that she's not an individual, that she's a community. And so a lot of women can say, well, I can go to dinner every night with my husband. We can eat the same thing, but I gain weight and he doesn't. Well, the reason is that a woman compromises hormones. So the 3 main hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, that makes up the totality of a woman's energy. So women hold on naturally to more water than men. So women have been looking all over the earth, some miracle pill. I want to lose weight. I want to do this. Well, let me give you something. No woman can lose weight until you first have an acid-alkaline balance. Now let me explain to you the way that the woman's body is designed. Every organ, gland, and cell of the body has a pH, a potential of hydrogen. The pH chart goes from 0 to 14 points. Blood, urine, and saliva is between 7.1 to 7.3. So if you eat, watch this, if you eat 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that is 21 eliminations, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well what happens is if your food doesn't have oxygen, water, and minerals, then it begins to store inside of the stomach. And as it stores inside of the stomach, it sends the waste back into the uterus.
Oh, God.
And this begins urinary tract infections. This begins cysts, and unfortunately, the beginning of fibroids. So now those 21 meals, 21 eliminations become stored up. So when the center and the core of you begins to store all this waste, then at nighttime, the body plays tic-tac-toe with the waste. And when the body plays tic-tac-toe with the waste, a woman feels as though when she wakes up in the morning time, sluggish and tired. And then she has to deal with the relationship with her children and a relationship with maybe a mate or a husband. So there's so much on a woman's plate and shoulders. And then there's society's demand to look and be beautiful all the time. So psychologically and emotionally, a woman has so many layers of health that men don't have to contemplate. You see, our community can never get better because a community is represented not by its man, but by a woman. When you teach a man, you teach an individual. When you teach a woman, you teach a community, because a woman comes in to uplift and change the community.
That's right.
There can be no change in our community till women first change their thoughts.
Wow.
That's good teaching. That's good teaching.
So our community will continue to be the same because the woman has not taken her place. We're waiting for some charismatic leader to come. The news is there's no one coming.
You better say that.
We're here. Wednesday's woman is here. Come on, girls.
There's
Y'all
no
better
one
get
that's
excited. It's us.
There's no one that's coming. You know, my mother told me a story. When she was a little girl, she wanted to have all girls. And so when she got older, of course, she had 8 boys.
Wow.
And so my mom had 8 boys and 2 girls. And when she was pregnant with every single child, she prayed that one of her children would be a preacher, would be a teacher. And so after the 8th child, she kind of was like, well, I guess I'm not going to have that special preacher, that special teacher. And so when I was born, the 9th child, I was so quiet and shy, I didn't play with my brothers and sisters. I had an imaginary friend until I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And so I was so quiet, I would only talk to my mom. And people thought something was wrong with me. And then at 18 years old, I was at an event, and someone got sick. And I used to love to read, and they asked me to speak, and I stand up and I spoke, and my mother said,
My son?
what, is that my baby boy up there? And I said, I didn't know I had that gift either, Mom. And she said, oh my God, you're gifted. And so that began that process of journey. But I realized that, you know what? It's not me. It's about being a humble vessel to allow the Spirit to work through you.
Right. That's right.
It's like Malcolm used to always say in a metaphor. He said that there was this man who wanted to be a sharpshooter. And so he got on the building and he just loved to shoot. It's just something that touched his testosterone, his energy to shoot. But he couldn't shoot. So one day he said, I'm going to hire somebody to stand behind me and I'm going to point and I want you to shoot. And he started doing it, and he was like, wow, pack, 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 pack. He was doing so good. After a while, he told a man behind him, he said, stop, stop, stop. I got it now. Then when he started shooting, he missed everybody. So that's what the reality of it is that no ego should develop from having a gift that is to serve humanity. You should constantly nurture through prayer, through meditation, so that you can always be in the line of the divine.
That's right. That's it.
And healing has something to do with that as well in regards to women. Understand the limitation. You cannot be good to anyone till you're first good to yourself.
Come on now.
That's right. That's
And
right.
women need to really embrace loving and nurturing themselves. Some time to go away to nurture yourself. The children are going to be okay. The husband, the boyfriend is going to be okay. But women has to have time for themselves.
That's right.
It's very important.
Yes.
Very important.
They tell you that on the airplane, don't
I'm
they?
leaving.
Yeah, put the mask on first yourself, and
on
then take care of everyone else. Yeah.
This is fun. You know, one thing about it, it's almost you can't even ask him no questions. You just have to sit here like,
Listen.
because he is so on it.
Yeah.
And this is how, when he gave the dissertation on that product that my husband and I got into. So, you know, he was just so good, and he it just comes out like, you're like,
Are you guys listening
You
to
gotta
him on
get it.
Wednesday? He's on Wednesday.
I'm here, like my husband said, I'm here all the time. I don't even take the time to call and do anything because I'm here, and I need to stop it and get a word and take time for me and myself and my husband. So that's why I said I take the blame for all this foolishness we going through. What?
So basically what you're saying, like when you say about women, we can't hear until we can hear.
Right.
And we can't see until we can see, because even with everything you're saying, and you can still hear like what Crystal just stated. Well, I'm here at work, and we'll always make excuses.
Well, no, it's time to make those excuses no more. Send the excuses out of the window, because everybody is suffering from where we're not in place.
Right.
So I'm saying it's time for me to step up and take my business to the next level and stop playing what?
Can I ask, for someone that has emphysema, that's the breathing problems, right? Emphysema, and they're wearing this oxygen now, 62 years old, no other health issues. Well, he has a few other health, but that's the main one, the breathing. And what would you say about for him changing his eating habits? Because what is it, COPD and something else that comes along with that he's dealing with right now? What would be some of the things? I'm going to have him to tune into your show, but what are some of the things for him to start turning that around?
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. The first thing that I always ask a client is their level of belief. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I would ask them, do you want to be healed?
Ah,
Okay. Okay.
Do you want to be holy?
The metaphysical law of healing begins on the inside and it works mentally going down. So if the person wants to be healed, then the first thing that we would do is we would put them on a plant-based diet to remove all the mucus that's clogging up the respiratory tract.
Okay.
That's number one. The second thing that we would do, I have a mucus buster formula that compromises of fenugreek, mullein, casagrata sangrata, and silvery elm. These herbs break up the mucus in the head and in the chest.
Okay.
And then the next thing we would do is the most important thing is make a special water for him.
Okay.
So I'll give you this. The water that he needs to be drinking is you get a gallon of distilled water. You get the live mint, organic mint leaves, and you soak it in the water. And then you go and get fenugreek seeds and you soak it in the water. And then you allow him to drink that. That's water that he should be drinking, because what that water is going to do, there's no function in the body that happens without water.
Right.
Water is a second level of healing. As he's drinking that water, that will begin the process to fluctuate. Now, the challenge of it is this. Anytime that you take medication, medication creates acid in the stomach.
Right.
And so what happens is that as we know, that person's concerned about their health, and we have to be very careful about that. But slowly but surely, we have to wean them off the medication and put them in a state in which their body can begin to heal. That will be the first step. I mean, those would be the first two steps, the belief and the water, and then following up with the mucus buster formula. You can go to harmonyherbcompany.com, and we have all of the products online right there at the store.
Okay, I'm definitely going to let him know, because one thing good about it, he's financially able to get these things that he needs. You know, a lot of time when we talk about eating healthy and taking different herbs, a lot of people in our community, the first thing is they don't have the finances.
Yes.
So I think he's going to be really interested when I give him the message today.
Absolutely. And let me say this in regards to me. My slogan is invest in your health and your body shall receive the wealth. Wealth is not just monetary.
Come on.
Wealth is first a healthy relationship with your creator.
Come on.
Wealth is a healthy relationship with your family and friends. No matter how much monetary wealth that you have, if you're lonely and rotten on the spirit on the inside, then you're broke. The second thing that I want all people to comprehend and know is this. Even if you personally do not have money yourself, guess what? You have a network. So let's say, for instance, he was not financially able to pay for it. I guarantee he may know 3 or 4 people who unfortunately may have high blood pressure or want to lose weight. So therefore, he could refer me to those people, and referring me to those people, that could cover for his payment for me working with him.
Okay. Okay, got you. Okay.
Okay, well, I want to break in here because Aline brought someone that is one of his patients, and she was telling me that her boyfriend, Rodney Brown, is that what you said?
Yes.
Is a part of the project that we were working on to get us a warehouse in Hawthorne. He is a wonderful mover and shaker in the business realm and nonprofits. But Aline, introduce her and let her speak and give some time.
Absolutely. Well, this is Wendy. She's a good friend of mine and someone that I consider like family. And Wendy came to me, about 2 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Wow, time flies. She came to me 3 years ago, and I'll let her tell the story from there when we first met about 3 years ago.
Okay. As you said, my name is Wendy Hill. I am 50 years old. At the time I was diagnosed with breast cancer, of course, when they tell you in the hospital or the doctors you have breast cancer, immediately you think, oh, I'm going to die.
Jesus.
Because that's what is associated. That's the stigma that society has with cancer, and with us, they say, okay, you get cancer, you're gonna die. So I was diagnosed, I never forget, November 29th. Immediately coming out of the hospital, I said, okay, I'm gonna be proactive. I've always been a proactive type individual. I didn't even call my family. First person I called was Aline. I said, okay, look, they said I have this. What do I do? Okay, because I know there's a process with this. And he said, okay, well, come on in and we'll, tell me what you've been diagnosed with and things of that nature. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I'd gone to Aline, and he put me on an immediate regimen, as he said, plant-based products. And other herbs. It's been so long, I cannot remember, because that was that regimen at that time, though I still continue to take herbs till this day that that regimen that he had placed me on then was for that specific, to rejuvenate my cells and to get my body, the internal of my body, back into its original, not original, so we're not going to go back to original, but close to original as possible, to just clean it out and get my cells functioning properly. Because before I got on his regimen, I was so tired and I was so listening. I didn't understand why. But after his regimen, I had so much energy. The doctors couldn't understand what had happened because of course, they tell you you have to go into surgery right away because this is going to take over your body. It's going to affect you, and you're going to, the end result could be death. I waited 6 or 7 months. I said, okay, I'm going to trust in God because I'm giving all glory and thanks to God first. And I said, I'm going to trust in God, and I'm going to, he steered me this way. He brought Aleem in my life for a reason, because I had met Aleem a week before I was diagnosed. So that was pure faith, and that was pure God that had brought him to me. So I said, okay, I'm going to trust in God first, and I started the regimen. Of course, they tell you, oh, you have to get this, you have to get that, you have to get the lipectomy, you have to get the mastectomy, you have to get these surgeries because it's going to take over your body eventually.
Wow.
But I said no, and I got on his regimen, and they couldn't understand it. Jeez. They did 3 or 4 or 5 tests on me, and they could not understand it. I tell you, to this day, I'm cancer-free, and I still do. And I do still drink the alkaline water.
Alkaline water, ladies and gentlemen, alkaline water.
And I'm still on other herbs that he suggests after the treatment.
Amazing. Praise the Lord. Sister, God bless you. I'm so very glad to meet you. I need to get that information, Aleem, whatever you put her on, because, see, I'm not the one to go to the doctor and find out. I just like to, when I feel something, oh, Lord, that pain, I start praying, but I need to start taking stuff. So I got my Brazil nuts, my probiotic drink, and things. So we need to, this is what we need, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get these remedies from this brother so we can, get it together before, because most of us have certain things in our body anyway, right? That's what they say. You have cells in your body that are cancerized and stuff because they've been pumped so much stuff in the air and in the food, can't help it. But the point of it is we need to have some pre-stuff so it won't go into anything worse. So, I get to talking all off, but go ahead, Elaine.
No, thank you. One of the things I want to say first is this, is that Wendy is very rare. Wendy's an extremely disciplined person. She did everything I told her to do.
Wow. From
the water to the juices to the herbs. We met every Friday. And I was so impressed by her ability to be so detailed. And so much credit is to her, and it's because of her faith. Yes. She believed that she could be healed, and she took action.
Yes.
And so we respect doctors and what they have to offer. But the thing I'd like to say is this. One of the key products that she used during the whole time is a product that I have. It's called Camu Camu. Camu Camu is an herb that is from Peru. Now, this herb is 1 tablespoon is equivalent to 9 oranges. Now, the body doesn't produce or manufacture what is called vitamin C, ascorbic acid that is an antioxidant. So what happens in the body is this. The body, a healthy body, registers between 72 to 79 megahertz of electrical energy. Cancer enters the body at 42 megahertz. When you put Camu Camu in the body, it begins to kill cancer cells, boost the immune system, and it puts the body in a state of defense in which the body is able to naturally begin to heal. So you cannot develop cancer in your body if, in fact, you switch your diet. Cancer must be fed by sugar and dairy products. That's how they feed and grow and develop in the body. An alkaline, absolutely, alkaline body, cancer cannot spread.
Oh my God.
So because of her exercise, because of her drinking green drinks that she said was nasty, she didn't like certain ones, she didn't like the MSM, but she did it all. The camel you said was okay, right?
Yeah, because I was mixed in orange juice.
She mixed in orange juice. Okay, that was
That's
okay.
powerful.
And I still
Okay.
to this day, I still drink the camel.
Still
I
take camel?
How do you drink it, Elaine? How do you drink the camel?
Take 2 teaspoons, stir it up in 4 ounces of water and drink it. And so we have it at harmonyherbcompany.com. You can go to the website, and we also have bags for sale here today. So it's 100% organic camel, no caps, no fillers. You take 2 teaspoons. It's something to be proactive, because look at it this way. In the 1970s, the pharmaceutical company found out a way that they could monetize the cold industry. They knew that the body does not produce or manufacture vitamin C, which is a major antioxidant, along with zinc. So out of every organ and cell in the body, the male prostate has the highest concentration of zinc. So what takes place is that many people believe that, okay, I can go outside and I can catch a cold. And it's always comical to me when I hear people say that, because this is something that we all say. But I want you to think about this just for a moment. If you get up tomorrow morning and you see a guy and he's running, and you say, man, that guy looks healthy, can you put on your sweatsuit and go stand next to him and catch healthy?
Oh, God.
Of course you can, right? Okay, so every person has an immune system. 70% of your immune system is in your intestines. So if someone has a disease or a bacteria that's floating around in the air, then the body produces 80 million antibodies at the onset of a foreign bacteria to attack it through the white blood cells via the lymphatic system to boost your immune system.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so the camel right here is one of the top herbs in the world to fight cancer.
All right, look, we got to go because we 5-7 minutes over time.
If my daughter was diagnosed with breast cancer, she's healed now, but I want to start her on a new diet. So can I start her on that?
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
One of the things that we want to do, we would like to educate people, because I have a cancer prevention course. I want to be able to teach and train people so they could teach and train members of the church, the mosque, the synagogue, wherever you go worship, wherever your community is, so we can prevent all these cancers in our community.
Put your phone number out. You have a call tonight, right? That
Absolutely. Every Wednesday. So harmonyherbcompany.com, area code 310-447-1724. That's harmonyherbcompany.com, 310-447-1724. Go to the website. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we have a free conference call.